You know that moment. You're just trying to relax, maybe outside, maybe just trying to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and then you hear it. That high-pitched whine.
Ugh, yeah. Instantly recognizable.
It's awful. And it usually means you're about to get bitten. We're talking, of course, about mosquitoes.
The ultimate unwelcome guest.
Exactly. So today we're diving into some great material you all sent us. There's this really relatable dialogue from an English lesson capturing that everyday frustration,
Yeah, I saw that one. Very familiar.
and also a really detailed text just packed with facts about them.
Right. Lots of biology and impact info there.
So our mission basically is to pull out the most important bits, the most interesting facts, give you the lowdown on mosquitoes without you having to read everything yourself.
Sounds good. A mosquito deep dive. Where should we start?
Well, let's start with the obvious, maybe. The sheer annoyance factor.
Okay, yeah. That dialogue we mentioned really hits that nail on the head, doesn't it? Like the opening lines, these favorite things, they can't stop scratching. It's just universal.
It really is. That itch is maddening. And it's not just the bite, it's the whole experience.
The buzzing.
Oh, the buzzing right by your ear.
Yeah.
Yes. And I found it interesting how the language takeaway in that dialogue distinguished between mosquitoes and flies.
Ah, yeah, that was a good point. We kind of lumped them together as annoying flying things.
Right. But it pointed out flies are mostly just irritating, buzzing around. But it's the female mosquito that's actually out for blood.
And it mentioned the visual differences too, didn't it? Like mosquitoes being thinner.
Yeah, slender. And flies are fatter, shorter, sometimes those black or green shiny ones.
Exactly. Simple difference, but crucial. One just bothers you, the other bites.
And that bites.
Mm.
The informational text explained the itch, the red bump. It's actually an allergic reaction.
Right, to their saliva.
Yeah.
Not the puncture itself, but what they leave behind.
Which explains why scratching makes it worse, like the dialogue said. You're just irritating it more.
Yeah, it's spreading the saliva around probably.
Yeah.
Vicious cycle.
Definitely. And the dialogue called them sneaky little jerks.
Yeah, that felt pretty accurate.
It really captures how they just appear, especially at night. You think you're safe and then buzz.
The thief analogy was good too. Creeping around in the dark, very
And
stealthy.
So sneaky. Okay, so they're annoying, they bite, they're sneaky. What can we actually do about them? Protection, prevention.
Right. Well, the language material brought up bug spray and mosquito repellent.
Yeah, what's the actual difference there? Is there one?
It seemed to suggest bug spray is more general purpose, like keeps various insects away.
Okay.
Whereas mosquito repellent, often that cream or lotion type, is specifically for mosquitoes. Targets them.
Ah, okay. So it probably has specific ingredients they hate.
Presumably, yeah. Something that messes with their ability to find us.
Makes sense. I did laugh at the dialogue suggestion, though, forgetting the spray and using beer instead.
Yeah, probably not the most effective method. Might attract wasps, maybe.
Yeah. Huh. Probably. So what does the proper informational text recommend? More reliable stuff.
Much more reliable. Wearing long clothes, sleeves, pants, especially, dawn and dusk when they're most active.
Physical barriers. Got it.
Then using a proper repellent, obviously.
Right.
The kind made for mosquitoes.
Right.
And mosquito nets for sleeping are a big one, particularly in areas where they're really prevalent or carry diseases.
And the standing water thing, that was a huge takeaway for me from the info text.
Oh, absolutely crucial. That's where they breed.
It seems so simple, but you forget about, like, a bucket left out or the dish under a plant pot.
Exactly. Tiny amounts of water are all they need. Eliminating those breeding grounds is probably the single best thing you can do locally.
Are there other, like, sneaky spots for water we might miss, besides the obvious puddles or bird baths?
Good question. Clogged gutters are a big one. They just hold rainwater.
Oh, yeah. Out of sight, out of mind.
Definitely. And those trays under potted plants, got to empty those regularly. Even like old tires lying around, kids' toys left outside. Anything that can hold a bit of water.
Wow. Okay, need to be more vigilant about those. So that's protection. But we need to talk about the really serious side, right? Diseases.
Yeah. This is where mosquitoes go from being just a nuisance to a major public health issue.
The dialogue mentioned malaria, specifically in Southeast and South Asia.
Right. A huge global killer, historically and still today, transmitted by mosquitoes.
And it also tackled that myth about HIV/AIDS, which is important.
Super important. The source was very clear. Mosquitoes do not transmit HIV. No AIDS-carrying mosquitoes exist. Getting that factual information out there is key.
Absolutely. Then it talked about dengue fever. Breakbone fever.
Yeah, sounds incredibly painful. Apparently common in South America, Brazil, Peru, Colombia, especially rainforest areas.
And there are efforts to eradicate it, it mentioned.
Seems so. Ongoing battle, I imagine.
And the main informational text just listed malaria, dengue, Zika as examples, sort of reinforcing that this is a widespread, serious problem.
Definitely. Controlling mosquito populations isn't just about comfort. It's about saving lives.
So why do they bite us? Or rather, why do the females bite us?
Biology. The text explained they need the protein, the nutrients in blood, specifically to produce their eggs.
Ah, so it's purely reproductive for them.
Exactly. Male mosquitoes, they're fine with flower nectar. They don't bother us.
Okay, so the females need blood for eggs. How do they even find us? It seems almost magical sometimes.
It's pretty sophisticated, actually. A combination of things. They sense the carbon dioxide we breathe out.
From quite far away.
Yeah, that's like the long-range signal. Then, as they get closer, they pick up on chemicals in our sweat, like lactic acid.
Okay.
They also sense body heat. And even just seeing movement can attract them.
Wow. So CO2, sweat, heat, movement. They've got multiple ways to track us down.
Pretty effective hunters in their own way.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Where do they live? The text said almost everywhere.
Pretty much, yeah. Hot places, cold places, cities, forests. But the key thing is water?
For the eggs.
Right. They need standing water to lay their eggs.
Yeah.
So anywhere near rivers, lakes, marshes, puddles. Even those tiny spots we talked about.
That adaptability explains why they're so widespread, I guess.
Absolutely. They're survivors.
It's so easy to just hate them, right? Just swat them. But the info text mentioned they actually have a role in the ecosystem.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around when you're itchy, but they are food.
For what?
Well, frogs eat them. Birds, fish, both the larvae in the water and the flying adults.
So they're part of the food chain.
They are. Removing them entirely.
Yeah.
Well, it could have knock-on effects on the animals that rely on them. It's a complex balance.
That does change the perspective a bit. Still annoying, but part of nature.
Exactly.
Okay, and the text had some just wild facts, too. Did any jump out at you?
Oh, definitely. The number of species, over 3,000.
I know. That's incredible diversity for one type of insect.
And the fact that a female can drink, what was it, 3 times her body weight in blood?
Yeah. That's impressive capacity, like a tiny little vampire.
Pretty much. But the one that really got me was their age.
Oh, yeah, that was mind-blowing.
Over 100 million years old. They were around with the dinosaurs.
Seriously. Puts our little summer annoyance into perspective, doesn't it? They've seen it all.
It really does. Talk about evolutionary success. They have survived mass extinctions.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. What have we learned?
Well, they're definitely more than just itchy bites. There's the complex life cycle tied to water.
Right, the sophisticated way they hunt us down using CO2, heat, sweat.
The very serious diseases they can carry, malaria, dengue, Zika, others, which is, a huge public health concern.
But also, surprisingly, they're a food source for other animals, part of the ecosystem.
And they have this incredibly long history, over 100 million years, thousands of species.
So understanding all that helps us protect ourselves better, but also maybe gives a bit more context to these creatures we love to hate.
Precisely. A broader appreciation maybe for their place in the world, even if we don't want them in our bedrooms.
Right. Okay, so for a final thought, given that immense history, 100 million years, and all those thousands of species,
Yeah.
what other roles might mosquitoes have played in, like the evolution of life on Earth that we maybe don't even understand yet?
That's a deep question. Their influence over millennia.
And on the flip side, with all the vital work being done to control the diseases that they spread, what are the potential ripple effects, the unintended consequences for those ecosystems that have actually relied on them as food for so long?
Yeah. Complex questions. Balancing disease control with ecological impact, definitely something to think about next time you hear that buzz.